President Benigno Aquino III called on cadets graduating from the Philippine National Police Academy to toe the line and observe the rule of law in the conduct of duties and securing the welfare of people and the communities they serve. A reminder that will guide them to do what's good for the country. Joining us tonight on NewsLife is Mr. Ramon Casiple, Executive Director of the Institute of Political and Electoral Reforms. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So when fresh graduates of the PNPA who will be officers in the country's police organization are reminded by the President to toe the line and observe the rule of law in conducting their mandate and mission, what exactly is he telling them?
Well, we're talking here of an institution that has always been accused of being corrupt, inefficient, and not fulfilling its mandate. Well, it's par for the course that the President will remind them that they have a lot to learn.
So I guess there's really no doubt any organization, to include the PNP, has scalawags in the service. The President spoke of the Atimonan incident and police personnel involved in illegal activities, and he means business. Will the education of PNPA graduates and training help them from being involved in criminal activities?
Well, the institution is a bit new. But it is a plus if we look into the past relationship of PMAers becoming police officers. The PNPA is an alternative source of officers, and this can be a positive development.
So the PNP will play a key role in the May elections. In a number of instances, though, police personnel and officers are perceived to be bodyguards of politicians in the past. Do you think this practice is no longer being done, or is it still in play?
Well, the key question there is the command structure. If politicians is part of that command structure, then you have the opportunity for problems during elections and even during governance period. It's a key question now. If the reforms in the PNP will lead down to a clean elections. I think so. My personal opinion there is that the PNP is responsive to the command structure coming directly from the President.
So now, talking about trust, do you think our people right now trust the police, and are they doing a good job of securing our people from criminal activities?
Well, I think it's a spotty record. There are places where the PNP really has to catch up on the question of trust. But there are also places where they have already gained the trust. So it's a question of developing further. Medyo mixed yung record dito.
So if there are reforms needed in the PNP, what are those reforms that are needed to be done?
But the major reform, I think, is modernization. The criminals, many of them are armed with heavy weapons already, like assault rifles. The PNP has to match that. The second, you have to raise the quality of the soldiers, of the policemen. And of course, the PNP is one of the ways to do it. The real problem, of course, is that the PNP cannot avoid mixing with civilians, particularly government officials and leaders in the community. And they have to be prepared, they have to be trained to deal with civilians.
So the President was very clear with his message to the cadets. Do your job. If you don't, you will be dismissed. Tough words. Your thoughts on this?
Well, I think that also measures the seriousness of the problem. The Atimonan incident, of course, is a manifestation of that problem.
Sir, and a final word from you now that we have new PNPA graduates?
Well, I think the creation of an academy, a separate academy from the Philippine Military Academy, is a good decision. The President, I think, has made a point already that he has high hopes for this institution to develop people who are really attuned to police work and not military work.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us tonight on NewsLive. That was Mr. Ramon Casiple, Executive Director of the Institute for Political and Electoral Reforms.